Okay, raise your hand if you've ever packed for a trip, forgotten your charger, got distracted mid-list, and then spent your whole travel day recovering from that spiral. Yeah, me too. Why does it take me 3 hours to pack a backpack and I still forget my socks? Why do I open my laptop at a cafe in Paris planning to edit and end up doom scrolling for hours? People say that traveling is relaxing, and sure, it can be magical, but it's also a constant
executive function obstacle course.
The mental skills and cognitive process that allow you to manage daily tasks, set goals, solve problems, and adapt to new situations by coordinating, planning, organization, working memory, and impulse control.
new routines, constant decisions, overstimulation. Some days I'm just trying not to cry because I lost something important. I lost my Pasmo card immediately when I landed in Japan. It had $200 in it, and I left it in a very touristy area and it was gone. All it took was going to the convenience for 10 minutes and placing it in the wrong pocket. Daily life is already a full-time job for my brain. Add airports, language barriers, last-minute plans, and new environments, and it's a mental marathon. But I have learned strategies that keep me calm, functional, and still able to enjoy the ride. Today, I'm sharing the systems that actually work for me, not the just be more organized advice. If you ever felt like both your suitcase and your mind's about to explode, this video is for you. Travel is both beautiful and overwhelming. Here's the paradox. People like me thrive on novelty. A new city? Dopamine. A street market in Kyoto? Double dopamine. That's why travel is so energizing. Planning, organizing, transitions, time management. Traveling demands all of that constantly. So it's this tug of war between I'm so inspired and wait, where's my ticket? My phone, my passport. I left my passport at the hotel, forgotten to download offline maps, and completely blanked on what I was supposed to be doing that day. And balancing my own travel brain with other people's spontaneity, that's a whole different beast. Like when your friend suddenly wants a detour 3 hours away to a beach town and your brain's already maxed out. Sometimes those detours are magical, but they can also feel like a mental crash when they're already stretched thin. Coordinating with others deserves its own video. But today I'm sticking to self-management. How to stop forgetting stuff. Packing with a distractible brain feels like solving a puzzle where the pieces are both missing and on fire. I've shown up to airports with 4 pairs of shorts, no underwear, or convinced myself I left the stove on halfway through check-in. Full-on panic attack. That happens regularly. Here's what helps me. Pre-packing rituals. I have one reusable packing list on my phone. I update it every trip. Here are the categories for me is the essentials, the passport, the meds, the charger, toiletries, skincare wipes, content gear, camera, SD cards, extras I always forget, which is like pens, hot sauce, and one jacket. The more I reuse it, the less I panic. Another thing that helps me is themed bag zones. I have a charging zone, I have a health zone, I have a tech zone, and I have an essentials pouch. For electronics that have screens like my laptop, my tablet, my Switch, I put it in an easy pocket to access because sometimes airport security makes you separate those things. I also regularly go through my bag to ditch trash or useless extras, less clutter, less overwhelm. I have my non-negotiables pouch. I keep my passport, my wallet, my meds, emergency cash. This bag is always on me. It never leaves my body. My panic-proof zone. I usually keep it like right here. It's on me. It's not going anywhere. I do a pre-leave countdown before I leave a hotel, which is clothes, 6, everything's packed, 5, chargers, 4, passport, 3, laptop, 2, meds, 1, the final sweep around the hotel. What has also helped me is a launch pad routine. This means take one spot the night before, a desk, a counter, whatever. Lay everything out, group by zone. Don't move it once it's there. Take a picture for proof. I take the picture for proof just for extra assurance of what's in my bag. Remember that forgetting happens. It's not irresponsibility. It's just how your brain works. That's why I build systems instead of relying on memory. Now, what do you do when panic hits? One forgotten item can spiral into shame. Why can't I do basic stuff? Everyone else is normal. I've had moments where I thought I lost my passport and nearly fainted from stress, only to find it was in my bag. My essentials bag. Here's how I reset. Pause and acknowledge out loud. This is just my brain moment. It's okay. I can fix this. Use the grounding technique.
Look for 5 things you can see. Take a moment to really notice 5 objects in your immediate environment. Observe details like their color, texture, and shape. Touch 4 things you can feel. find 4 different objects near you and touch them. Pay attention to how each one feels, such as the texture of your clothes, the coolness of a desk, or the weight of your phone. Listen for 3 things you can hear. Close your eyes for a moment to tune into 3 sounds around you. This could be a humming fan, distant traffic, or even your own breathing. Smell 2 things you can smell. Take a deep breath and identify 2 distinct smells. It could be a scented candle, a nearby cup of coffee, or the smell of fresh air. Taste 1 thing you can taste. Focus on 1 thing you can taste. If you don't have food or a drink, you can simply notice the taste in your mouth.
Or cold therapy. Tip from my dad, shout out. He taught me to put something cold on my forehead because immediately you'll focus on the cold on your forehead versus your anxiety. Write it out. Brain dump. What I feel, what triggered it, what I need, what's the next step. Noise canceling headphones. Noise reset. Headphones, safe playlist, block out overstimulation. Working while traveling. You're juggling jet lag, distractions, and a buzzing brain. Suddenly, send one email becomes an hour of rearranging your bag and Googling ghost stories. So this is what helps me. I make time anchors. Tie tasks to routines. Post after runs. Check email with morning coffee. I have work zones. It's nice to have a work zone. It's not always going to be the case when you're traveling, but pick one cafe or one co-working space so that your brain knows it's focus time. Create tiny to-do lists. 3 tasks max. Edit 1 TikTok. Send 1 email. Journal 5 minutes. You can increase the amount of to-do lists because I usually have like a ton, but at least knock out 3 or 4. Celebrate the wins. If I edited a reel on a moving train, that's a victory. My reset bag. Let's dive into the reset bag, the bag that I carry on me. And by the end of the day of my trip, I reset everything, make sure everything is there, has my essentials, and is ready. This means checking if you have your extra phone, in my case, my portable charger, my meds, my water bottle, my noise canceling headphones, fidget ring or something that can ground me, pen, and sometimes an emergency snack. You never know when you're gonna need it. Every travel day I restock it so I'm never scrambling. I know where things are. Even if my suitcase explodes, I know my essentials are safe. Having a brain like mine doesn't necessarily mean that you're lazy or broken. Our brains work in a more creative, curious, and intuitive way, which also makes you a great traveler. You just need tools that work with you, not against you. Give yourself some grace. Be forgiving to yourself and take it 1 task at a time. Subscribe for more travel vlogs, essays, and systems that actually work. And until next time, happy travels.